when I was fucking with the lean. When I left that shit alone, every nigga that I was still cool with, that was still sipping, I need to cut that shit out.
Oh, that's fine.
So I would never keep promoting it, like, you know what I'm saying?
Something is not adding up with the Let's Rap About It podcast right now, and people are finally starting to say what everybody's been thinking for weeks. The show looks dead. Not on a break, not in the middle of some creative reset, not dealing with scheduling conflicts. It looks completely finished, and fans want answers. Real answers, not construction updates and motivational speeches about building empires. Now here's where it gets interesting. A lot of people online are pointing fingers directly at Jim Jones, saying he's the reason this whole thing fell apart. Whether that's fair or not, we're gonna break down everything that's been happening, what people are noticing, and why so many viewers believe season 2 is never coming. Because right now, the silence is telling us more than any official statement ever could. Let me take you back real quick so we're all on the same page. The Let's Rap About It podcast was one of those shows that felt like it had real momentum building. You had Jim Jones, Fabolous, Dave East, Maino, and sometimes Cameron would come through. The chemistry was there, the conversations felt authentic. The energy in the room translated through the screen in a way that's hard to fake. And for a minute, it looked like they were carving out their own lane in the podcast space, which is genuinely hard to do when everybody and their cousin has a show now.
Did somebody tell you, yo, bro, you need to do better.
Man,
You need to stop. You need to
a
get
few
off the drugs.
homies
Stop being a drug addict. Did they tell
wasn't for that. You know what I'm saying? A few of my homies wasn't for that. What he
They
said?
tell you stop using liquid heroin.
The podcast world is oversaturated, we all know that. So when something actually cuts through the noise and gets people talking, that's worth paying attention to. Let's Rap About It had that potential. The names attached to it carried weight, the conversations touched on real topics. And the audience was growing because people could tell these guys had actual history together, not just manufactured chemistry for the cameras. But then things started getting weird. Episodes slowed down, the energy shifted, and before anybody could figure out what was happening behind the scenes, the upload schedule basically disappeared. Fans noticed it immediately. You can't build an audience, get people invested in the dynamic, and then just ghost them without questions popping up everywhere. That's not how you maintain trust with viewers who chose to spend their time with your content. And that's exactly what happened. People flooded the comment sections asking what's going on, where's the new content, why are we watching the same clips from months ago? Is there beef we don't know about? The frustration built up fast because nobody was giving straight answers, just silence and recycled footage presented like it was fresh material. Now let's talk about what people are actually seeing when they check the channel. It's reruns. Straight up reruns packaged like they're new uploads. And fans are not dumb. They recognize these clips. They've seen these conversations before. They remember which episodes these moments came from. So when you're trying to pass off old content as something new, the audience catches on quick. And that's when trust starts breaking down in a serious way. Some people are saying this is just a placeholder strategy while they figure things out behind the scenes. Maybe there's legal stuff. Maybe there's contract negotiations.
Yeah, no, they just was like, that wasn't what we came from. That wasn't what a nigga was
Nigga's
on.
a fiend.
Wait,
This nigga shooting it.
wait, East
Man
was on
shooting.
heroin? What the fuck? What happened? When did that happen?
Yo, I thought it was a serious moment. That's what I thought.
Maybe somebody's dealing with personal issues that require privacy. Others are calling it exactly what it looks like, which is a podcast that's already over, but nobody wants to admit it publicly. Either way, the pattern is clear. No new episodes, no season 2 announcement, no updates that actually mean anything. Just construction videos and motivational speeches about building for the future. Speaking of construction, Jim has been posting a lot about this new facility he's working on. Tours of the space, updates on the progress, talking about LED walls and sound stages, and creating opportunities for other creators. And look, nobody's saying investing in yourself is a bad thing. That's solid business thinking. Building infrastructure for the future shows long-term vision. But the timing of all this content is raising eyebrows heavy. Because while fans are asking about the podcast, Jim's out here giving walkthroughs of half-finished rooms and talking about creator utopias and content hubs that might be ready someday. The disconnect is wild. People want to know if the show is coming back, and instead they're getting updates about construction materials and square footage. It feels like misdirection, even if that's not the intention. And when you're already dealing with rumors and speculation about what went wrong, that kind of content just adds fuel to the fire. People start wondering if you're avoiding the real conversation on purpose.
What I thought. I was trying to tell you some real shit.
I thought, right, I was with you.
I don't know where that went.
You was venting, and I heard, I heard different music.
Now I was on the
talking.
H, I don't know.
That was crazy. No, seriously, let's bring it back.
He was on the brown.
Right, that was wild.
Here's where the Jim Jones theory really picks up steam. A lot of viewers believe he's the central figure in whatever tension caused this whole situation to unravel. Now, nobody has receipts showing exactly what went down. Nobody's leaking group chat screenshots or posting tell-all videos breaking down the timeline. But the circumstantial evidence has people drawing their own conclusions, and those conclusions keep landing on Jim. Think about it for a second. Fab has been quiet, not just regular quiet, but completely off the radar when it comes to anything podcast related. No mentions, no throwback clips, no hints about future episodes. Dave East, same exact thing. Radio silence on that front while he focuses on his own music and moves. Maino's been posting vacation content and living his life without addressing the elephant in the room. And Cam's involvement only complicated everything further when he did come around. When you look at all of that together, it paints a picture of a group that's not on the same page anymore. Maybe not even in the same book. The unity that made the podcast work appears to be gone, and everybody's handling that reality by simply not talking about it. And Jim's the one still talking. He's the one doing damage control with construction content. He's the one explaining and defending and showing progress like that answers the questions people are actually asking.
No,
That was crazy.
I said liquid, like they call.
But he wasn't on. Okay, he
they
was
call
on
lean liquid heroin.
Okay, got it. But
it's the expensive heroin.
Understood, 100%. But listen,
It's for the youth, man.
That positioning alone makes him the focus of speculation, whether he deserves that spotlight or not. When you're the loudest voice in a situation where everybody else went quiet, people assume you have the most to say. Let's be real about something important. This podcast really only generated major buzz when drama was attached to it. Before the tension, before the rumors, before whatever happened behind closed doors, the show was doing okay, but it wasn't dominating conversations. It had its audience, it had its moments, but it wasn't must-watch content for the broader hip-hop community. Then conflict enters the picture, and suddenly everybody's paying attention. That's just how this space works sometimes. Controversy drives engagement in ways that regular content simply can't match. The Squatters Rights Freestyle is a perfect example of this dynamic. That moment grabbed attention because people knew someone caught a stray. The bars meant something beyond just the music. There was context, there was tension, there was something real underneath the performance. And for a minute, the podcast was the center of hip-hop conversation again. But that kind of heat is hard to sustain, especially when nobody's feeding the flame with actual content. You can't ride controversy forever without giving people something new to watch and discuss. Now you've got a situation where the drama brought eyes to the show, but there's nothing new for those eyes to watch.
Somebody said to you that you should stop.
Right.
It pulled you up. That's somebody that you respect.
Yeah,
I think it
like close friends, like a couple close people to me wasn't with that.
So people tune in curious about what's happening, see reruns from months ago, get frustrated by the bait and switch, and start questioning whether this whole operation is finished. The momentum that controversy created got completely wasted because there was no follow-through, no new episodes to capitalize on the attention, no fresh conversations to keep people engaged. Some people in the comments are joking that maybe it's just too cold in that building to record anything right now. New York winters are brutal, especially in spaces that aren't fully built out yet. And honestly, that tracks with some of the footage we've seen from Jim's construction updates. But even if temperature is part of the delay, it doesn't explain the complete communication blackout about the podcast's future. A simple update would go a long way right now. Something straightforward like, hey, we're working through some things, dealing with the construction timeline, new episodes coming in the spring, stay tuned. That's genuinely all people need to hear to stay patient. But instead, there's this weird avoidance where everybody's talking around the situation without addressing it directly. That approach only works for so long before the audience fills in the blanks themselves with whatever theories make the most sense to them. And right now, the blanks are getting filled with theories about Jim being the problem. Whether it's creative differences about the direction of the show, financial disagreements about revenue splits, personal tension that built up over time, or something else entirely that we don't have visibility into, fans have decided he's at the center of whatever went wrong. Fair or unfair, that's the narrative taking hold because nobody's offering a different explanation. The money angle keeps coming up in discussions too. People are questioning how all this construction is getting funded when the podcast situation looks so unstable. And look, Jim's got multiple revenue streams built up over decades in the industry.
Because you're asleep behind the wheel? Sir, I was knocking on this door for a long time. Huh? I know you did, I know, but you were sleeping. You don't need to be reaching around, all right?
The man's been successful for a long time across different ventures. Nobody should assume they know his financial situation from the outside looking in. But when you're posting about building facilities and investing in yourself while your main content platform appears to be dying a quiet death, people are going to ask questions. Some viewers are straight up saying the reruns are just there to generate a little ad revenue to cover costs somewhere. That might be cynical, but it's the kind of conclusion people reach when they feel like they're being played with recycled content. Here's what I think is really happening, and this is just my read on the situation based on everything that's been out there publicly. The podcast is done for now. Not necessarily forever, because things change in this industry all the time, but definitely for the foreseeable future. Whatever happened between the people involved created enough friction that continuing wasn't a realistic option. At least not in the same format with the same energy that made it work initially. Jim's construction project might genuinely be his focus right now. Maybe he's building something that could host a new version of the show down the line with different people involved. Maybe he's pivoting entirely to a different kind of content that doesn't require the same group dynamic. But whatever the plan is, it doesn't include the Let's Rap About It podcast as we knew it. That chapter looks closed from every angle I can see. The damage control we're seeing is really just reputation management at this point. Nobody wants to be the one who officially killed the show. Nobody wants to be blamed for the tension or the fallout that ended something fans enjoyed. So instead of addressing it head on and giving people closure, everybody's just quietly moving on and hoping the audience eventually stops asking questions. But fans don't forget that easily, especially fans who were genuinely invested in the content and the personalities involved. They remember being promised a certain experience, and they remember when that promise got broken without explanation.
He said,
They tell you stop using liquid heroin.
yeah, no, they just was like, that wasn't what we came from. That wasn't what a nigga was
Niggas
on.
a fiend.
Because you're asleep behind the wheel? Sir, I was knocking on this door for a long time.
That kind of thing follows you in this space. People talk. Comment sections have long memories. And the next time any of these guys launch something new, this situation is absolutely going to come up again as context. The timeline really says it all at this point. We're deep into the new year now. The Squatters Rights Freestyle dropped weeks ago. There was supposed to be momentum building into season 2 based on everything that was being teased. Instead, there's nothing concrete, no announcements, no teasers, no behind-the-scenes content showing the crew together working on new material. Just individual moves and collective silence about the thing they built together. If the podcast was coming back anytime soon, we'd have seen something by now. Some indication that they're gearing up. Some energy suggesting the team is still functioning as a team. But all we're getting is Jim talking about construction timelines and everybody else staying completely quiet on the topic. That's not what a comeback looks like. That's what an ending looks like when nobody wants to say the words out loud and make it official. I could be wrong about all of this. Maybe there's a master plan nobody's sharing yet that's going to make everyone look foolish for doubting. Maybe season 2 drops next month and proves everybody wrong with their speculation. Stranger things have happened in this industry, and people love a good comeback story. But based on everything we can actually observe right now, this podcast appears to be finished. And a lot of people believe Jim Jones played a significant role in making that happen. Now I want to hear from you because I know people have strong opinions on this situation. What's your take on everything that's been going down? Do you think the Let's Rap About It podcast is really done for good? Or do you believe Jim's actually building towards something bigger that we just can't see yet? Are the other guys going to speak on this eventually? Or is everybody just going to pretend like this show never existed and move forward? Drop your thoughts in the comment section because the conversation needs to happen. Hit that like button if you made it this far through the breakdown. Subscribe if you're not already part of the channel and want to stay updated on this situation. And share this video with somebody who's been following this whole thing because we need more voices in this discussion until we get some real answers about what actually went down. Appreciate every single one of you for rocking with me on this one.